Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Atlantic Bushcraft Adventures. As we had mentioned in our last episode, last Wednesday, Ben and I actually went out to the woods over the weekend and we had ourselves a little adventure. And I think it was a pretty good time, Ben. Do you not?
Oh, it was great. It was we had some good food. We had we had two good nights out there. One actually in the woods and one in glamping, as we'll call it, I guess.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Glamping is an accurate description.
Yeah,
And
but
the second night we did stay out right in the woods. It was calling for pretty chilly weather there at one point, but it didn't actually get down that cold, and we were both comfortable this time.
yeah, we didn't have the humidity that we had in the previous one. We didn't have that river kind of just pouring the moisture into us. And although it got a little windy early in the evening, it died out pretty quick. So we had a pretty comfortable night, really. We had a good fire going all night, plenty of firewood.
Oh, we had
Uh,
more fire than we knew what to do with. We left, and there was still enough firewood for a couple more nights.
and honestly, I mean, I kind of knew the area before because I've been out there, but I was even taken aback when we walked in there. That was almost park like setting, right?
Oh, it was
Uh,
absolutely beautiful. We did post some pictures up. Not a whole lot, but we did post some pictures up, which you can find on the Facebook page there. And there is video to come that'll show it a little better.
yeah, but no, we had a wonderful trip. I said food couldn't have been any better. I don't think.
Oh man, like you have ruined me. And if anyone is wondering what we did, just to tip the hand a little bit, because there's going to be a video on this as well, we actually drug along enough equipment to deep fry a turkey in the woods, which is kind of exciting all on its own, to be honest. But truth be told, it was my first deep fried turkey. And the running gag has been that Ben has ruined me. It's the only way I can eat turkey now. Because if you have not had a deep fried turkey, you are missing out. You are not living life to its fullest.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, and just the whole. We've said it before. Food in the woods tastes a bit better. We're out there with almost like, I mean, we took the equipment to cook it, but we had, we only had a couple of forks between us. We had a plate each. Pretty minimum equipment, and we were shifting things around to have room to do everything. We got it all going, and we cooked it up, and we shot some other video, and we did some more bushcrafting while it was cooking, and it was a great time. And I think the only time the alarm went off and shut the fuel down is like I literally was walking up to check it, my hand was almost on the knob, and ding, it went off.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, it went quicker than I kind of expected, honestly. Once again, where I didn't know anything about it, I was kind of relying on Ben 100% for this, but it went quick. The
Yeah.
stuff was fairly lightweight, you know, for what we drug in, and the pot ended up being our bushcraft fridge.
Yes, yes,
So
and that
it
worked
pulled double
awesome.
duty as well.
Yeah. Threw all our food in it. We put it out in the middle of the lake and just put a couple of rocks on it so it wouldn't float away. And nothing bothered it. It stayed nice and cool. Everything stayed fresh. Worked out perfect. Uh,
Yeah, it worked great. I got to try the new sleeping bag.
yeah,
Um, because anybody that remembers our last camping adventure, we both got a little bit of a chill on that one. So we upped our game this time, or I upped my game this time, got a new sleeping bag. Ben came a little bit more prepared for the weather. And as I said, we were both very comfortable.
oh
At
yeah,
one point, I was too hot. I actually had to open up my sleeping bag. And yeah, it was great. I mean, I think I slept better that night than I have at home in bed sometimes. Um,
oh,
I had to get up once, of course. You know, the hammock peeing was a real thing. But other than that, I slept like a rock.
well, I got I'd say close to 9 hours solid sleep because I think we crashed pretty well, shut the fire down around 10:30,
Yeah, it was early,
and
comparatively.
and it was basically around 8 before, well, no, getting close on 8 before we were out.
Yeah,
Oh,
up and moving around. I woke up about 6 because I thought I had something caught in my throat.
yeah.
And for whatever reason, my uvula actually swelled up to about the size of my thumb. Reasons yet to be debated. But swelling went down. All is good. All I got is a mild sore throat now, so things are good. I think I might have had like a throat infection or something set it in, and it was just kind of, everything lined up to be crap. But it didn't ruin the day. We still had some turkey in the morning. some turkey wraps. Ben brought out some what are they called? Carb down wraps or
Protein up.
protein up wraps.
Yeah.
And we had some. What do we have? We had spinach, bacon,
Turkey, spinach, Caesar dressing, bacon bits, I think. Yes, and
cheese flakes,
Parmesan cheese.
Parmesan cheese. But anyway, yeah, they were marvelous. I mean, it was absolutely delicious. Yeah, so Chris, he just popped one up, said deep fried turkey is great, but wait till you've tried smoked whole turkey. Another one for me I have not done. So maybe, Chris, you can send us a smoked turkey or invite us out for a smoked turkey. I mean, I'm not fussy. I'll take anybody that makes turkey for me. I mean, it's great. But yeah, long story short, we did get out there. We got some video shot. We had some fun. I mean, there was, like we said, there was more firewood than we knew what to do with. And we didn't work very hard for it. It was just walking around, grabbing the trees, and off we went.
Yeah. Ton
Um,
of things dead, a fair bit of leaning dead. Uh, and I mean, we didn't have to cut any live trees or anything like that. We didn't have to disturb much. There was nice open area. But yeah, so that was more or less the camping in the woods. We canoed out to it in a relatively big canoe. That was pretty fun. And the next day, you got to test out some sit-in kayaks.
yeah, so another first for me was Ben was gracious enough to let me borrow one of his sit-in kayaks.
Sit
And,
on,
sorry?
sit on, not sit in.
Sit on kayaks. That was a discussion we had. I want to know what the benefits and differences were between a sit in and sit on. And that might actually be a great topic for a video for you to shoot sometime, Ben, just to give a little ins and outs. You seem to be, well, in my opinion, you're a boating guru of some sorts because I go to you with all my boating questions because I am not generally, I'm not water friendly because I get very motion sick, but in those little boats, I had absolutely no problem. I guess once I hit land after a couple hours out in the water, I got a little
Yep.
squeamy there, but it was worth it. It was worth it. We went out, we did a ton of boating. Well, ton of boating for me, seeing I don't boat. And I had a blast. Like, that little kayak was awesome. They're super nimble. They can go a lot of places. Like as Ben mentioned, the canoe was kind of a barge of a canoe. So,
Yeah.
but we had a lot of gear with us. Relatively, we had a lot of gear with us because we had all that extra gear for the turkey and stuff. But we we made out pretty good with the canoe too. We had a lot of fun going around. We followed the coast in. We got ourselves some wild cranberries.
Yes. Yeah.
Um, we didn't get enough to make cranberry jelly like we had joked about when we were going through. We got like what, six cranberries or something in total, but it was still good. They were tasty. They had that slight apple taste to them, as you said, and that was a really good description. Hey, Troy, just seen you join in there. And yes, Chris, if we ever make it to Newfoundland, I will hold you to that. Chris has offered to smoke us a turkey and ribs if we ever go to Newfoundland. So, with the first paycheck, when we make it big, Ben, I know where we're going.
Oh, well, it's an easy trip for me. It's home, right?
Easy sell for you, for sure. And I love Newfoundland, too. I traveled over there quite a bit when I was younger. I love Deer Lake. That's my favorite place. But I don't know why. That's just my happy spot. If I had to pick a happy spot on the planet right now, it's Deer Lake, Newfoundland. Love that
Yeah.
place.
Oh man.
But yeah, so we went out on the barge of the kayak, but it served its purpose very well for what we needed it to.
Yeah.
We never capsized it, so I mean, thumbs up to me because I figured I was going to get in the boat and ruin it for both of us. But no, we made out good. We took that back. We had the wind at our back. We actually made really good time coming back,
Oh
considering
yeah.
the size of the boat.
Yeah.
And then we bailed on the kayaks and did some boating, and you taught me quite a bit about those, and we looked at some stuff, and we just went boating, and it was great. I was a little clumsy at first.
And if we get you out again, we'll get you to the whole lake. We only really spent time in about a third of the lake.
Yeah, that's what you were saying, and once we were looking at the map, I'd really like to see the rest of it too. Um, so what was your highlight for the weekend aside from the turkey, Ben?
Uh, I was just getting out. I mean, the weather was beautiful, so we really got to enjoy it. It was just, it was nice because we got out there. We got to really enjoy it. You showed me some bow drill techniques and stuff, and we played with that. you even brought some chert for me to play with, and I have been playing with that pretty well constantly. I'm getting in trouble for
Just
that.
don't burn your house down, because I know she'll come after me. She knows where I live, man.
But yeah, no, it was you know good. You know, good to spend some time with you and get talking and stuff. It was great to get out and do stuff, test some equipment. This time, I took the wool sleeping bag I had made up to boost my system, and that really does work. Uh, I snapped that on and put my sleeping bag over the top of it, and I was also fairly warm. Not to the point of sweating, but definitely fairly warm.
So is
And,
the wool blanket a greening secret, or can I spill the beans on what you did with your wool blanket there? Because I think it's an awesome idea and people could benefit from it.
oh no, you can spill the beans.
So better
Yeah,
yet, why don't you walk us through what you did with your? It's just a wool blanket, but you modified it.
yeah. I just got a wool blanket, and I bought the snap kits, so you can put snaps in them. And I put three across the bottom, and I think the corner one is the same one, and it's basically seven up the side. And it just you fold it in half and just snaps together instead of a zipper. Um, I've actually talked to Mark Young a bit about it before I did it. He did one where I think he tied loops and put buttons on them.
Yeah, I
I
think
just
you're right.
snap. Yeah,
But either way, this is the first time I've seen it in practice, and I think it was a brilliant idea. Hey, Marcus, thanks for joining us, buddy. How you doing? Um, and it was just great because when I looked at it, I'm thinking, okay, if you get cold, you have the option now to take that and literally like use it like a sleeping bag, and you could lay by the fire. Because where we were, it was pretty soft on the ground. Like I mean, it wasn't bad at all. It was 3 inches of duff or something like that. Like it was nice, soft ground, but firm. It was dry.
yeah.
It was just an amazing place. Uh,
You were curled up next to the fire for quite a while. I mean, you had your feet up against one tree, your back up against the next tree, and the fire just to your
oh
side.
man, I was in heaven. I think that's when we had the beer, and that was
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, we chatted there for a while around the fire, but as Ben said, we went to bed a little early, and we had a couple beer we took with us. No amount. I think we had one each or something. Maybe two each through the entire weekend, or three each through the entire weekend. I can't remember, but it wasn't many. We were not intoxicated by any stretch of the imagination.
Pretty sure we took two back.
Yeah, we ended up taking beer back, which is
I think I
almost
took
sacrilege.
we took four into the woods, and we had two the night before. So when we got to the cabin, we had a couple, and then we had two in the woods, and it's all we needed. It's all we really wanted at the time. We had a great time. Sat there at the fire. I think it started the fire just before it started getting dark, so 5:30 or so, and we ran that fire till I said like 10:30, and it it gets so dark so early. It's.
Yeah, it was. And what surprised me was for how much wood we had on that fire and how many coals we had under it. It was still pretty much out when I got up and started getting it going again.
Yeah.
Like I had to work at it pretty good. I had to blow on it pretty good with some fine fuels to actually get her fired back up. But we did. We still had coals left over. I didn't have to start a new fire. That was good. But I was just kind of surprised, honestly. I expected more to be left over.
Yeah. Uh,
Um, but yeah, then after that, we on the second day, we basically got up and started tearing down right away, which was not really intended. It just kind of happened fluidly. I was just taking my tarp down so I had a place to sit, and then before we knew it, we're pretty much packed up.
yeah. I mean, I think I'm getting pretty slick at the whole setup and pull down. Anyways, I really did like the fact that we were there early enough that because we got up first thing in the morning, went straight in the woods. So we got early enough to sort of fluff up all our sleeping bags and our under quilts and that, and let them come to full loft, which really makes a big difference. I've done other trips where it's still, by the time you get to putting up your hammock, it's already getting dark. And
Yeah, and I tend to agree with you. I think that's probably why I was so comfortable in sleeping as I was, because everything had the time to loft up, as you said, and provide all that extra thermal insulation. Um, but yeah, after we kind of packed up, I mean, we weren't quick about packing up by any stretch of the imagination, but we weren't slow. It happened very fluid, very quick. And then we stepped back to shore, kind of threw our stuff on the land, and then we jumped in the other boats, and you took me on a little tour there, and we seen some wicked stuff. And
Yeah.
all in all, it was a great weekend. We got some good video, which will be coming up soon. Um, but yeah, I think it went good, and I was happy about it. It was a really comfortable, good weekend.
Yeah. We're getting a hang of the videoing in the woods, in the field. It's still, I think we have a way to go, but
We're
that may
learning.
be that could be a lifetime thing. I mean, everyone who does it learns something new. I'm sure every time they shoot, something else they could do, something they enjoy, something else they want to do the next time that they see. So, uh,
We're learning shooting at the style that we did. That video cards and batteries are like gold.
yeah,
As
I got decent cards, but I just don't have the tenacity to really get those cameras out and going. As you know, when we got into kayaks, I took a couple of quick pictures, I think, but we uh, we just kind of enjoyed the moment. It does change everything when you're trying to video it.
and towards
Uh,
the end, the further in the weekend we went, I noticed we were setting up cameras more and more.
yeah,
But
I mean we almost managed to paddle right up on some ducks, and we got
yes, I do got a picture of you taking a picture of the ducks. I forgot to send it to you. It's on my phone. It's great.
yeah,
And we got to meet one of the locals. I can't remember what
yeah.
the lady's name was, but we had a quick chat there while we were out in the lake, and that was good.
I'm not sure we exchanged names.
I don't think we did either, but it was just good. She was another fellow kayaker. I shouldn't call her a fellow kayaker because I'm not really a kayaker yet. I'm being inducted into the kayaking world at this point, but she's a kayaker and just
Yeah,
chatted for a while, and it was good. And I think that's the best thing about the camping experience is anybody knows you're out there doing stuff like that. If they're like-minded into it, they're generally pretty friendly about it, and they don't mind chatting a little.
yeah, and she's done a fair bit of research. She was telling us on every animal she can find in the lake, and she was telling us things she's seen, and a lot of it dovetails with me because I've spent a ton of time on that lake myself. And the painted turtles, the snapping turtles, the ducks, the loons. We didn't see the loon, but we definitely heard the loon. Uh,
The bald eagle experience, that was neat.
Bald eagle. I mean, you could almost reached out and touched it. It was that close. And it was funny because just before we got on the water, I said, there's eagles on this lake. We'll probably see some. And we weren't at camp very long. We're standing there just inside the trees off from the lake, and it came by. It flew just on the outside of the trees, just
Yeah, it
on
was
the.
only like 25 feet, 20,
Yeah.
25, 30 feet tops. I think it was eyeballing the turkey.
He would have fought us for it.
Well, at that point, I hadn't had it deep fried, so I kind of would have been like, but now that I've tasted it, you're right, I would have fought him for it. But no, I think all in all, it was a good weekend. And as I mentioned, there is going to be some video coming. And on that note, to kind of jump into our next topic, we are going to continue to do our podcasting here on Facebook for the time being, but all of our other video content is going to be uploaded to YouTube exclusively. We are going to start pushing more towards that medium just because it's a little friendlier for us as creators. And it does allow us to have a little bit more interaction. So I will apologize to anybody that is Facebook married. We are, as I said, we are still going to do the podcast here for now, but hopefully we can entice all you guys to come over and view us on YouTube. You can find us just by typing in the Atlantic Bushcraft into YouTube, and you'll come to our channel, and there's links to it on our Facebook page there. And yeah, there's some features there that I'm really excited to look at and hopefully get implemented as we get subscribers. So if you know anyone, please send them our way because for whatever reason, YouTube makes all your features subscriber based or subscriber dependent. So you need so many subscribers before you can unlock a feature, which kind of sucks in one way, but I understand why they do it. They just don't want to be handing out all that extra bandwidth and stuff to just anyone because people could just, use it inappropriately. But yeah, as that unfolds and as hopefully we grow, we'll unroll some good stuff there. And hopefully some exciting things for you guys too. So I guess the short of that is going forward, you're going to see more of a presence of us being on YouTube. So a little less of a presence for us on Facebook, but we're still going to try and stay back here because this is where we started. We do have some faithful followers here. We see you every week. We like talking to you. Chris, for one. Oh, you will join us on YouTube. Awesome, buddy. Um, Adrian, same thing. I'm glad. Thank you very much for promoting us when you can there. I know something I wanted to say was I didn't realize how how did we word it when we were talking there, Ben? How far and wide our podcast has actually reached. Just
Yeah.
for giggles, the other week I was just typed in Atlantic Bushcraft because I was checking a domain or name availability or some keyword checking something. Anyway, if you type into Google Atlantic Bushcraft, we show up on far more podcast sites than I have submitted us to. Like, it's actually staggering how many we're on now. So I don't know if there's bots that go out and collect us and pull them on it or what, or if other people submit it. And if you do, I humbly thank you for it. Thank you for supporting us and submitting it. But either way, we had reviews from places like the United States and Spain and stuff like that talking about us. And some of them were pretty clever. One of them was like, it's better than Poison Ivy. And that
Yeah.
still sits in my head because it's true. I'll take it. I mean, I love it. So, yeah, thank you very much to you guys out there. For me, thank you. I'm sure Ben, much the same.
Oh yeah. Oh, you found one review site that actually claimed we were within the top five podcasts for bushcrafting.
So Adrian Farnell just said he posted it in Reddit a month ago. So thank you very much, Adrian. I would love to claim that I know a lot about Reddit. I am a bit of a Reddit noob. I know what it is. I kind of know what it does. I haven't got into there because, frankly, I'm a recovering 4chan addict. And I'm sure those who know what that is know what that is, and those who don't go looking. You will just it's poison you don't need in your mind. But
uh, Speaking of all these other things, we've recently reached out into a whole new area. We've joined Twitter. A bit of an experience for both of us. I know I through earlier youth and games have somehow offended the Twitter gods, so I got banned there for a while, and that account is no longer opening. But now we can do stuff with this, and we're going to keep it Bushcraft related. No games, no no silliness.
there'll be silliness. Hopefully not banning silliness.
No.
And Ben doesn't quite know it yet, but he is spearheading the Twitter end of things because I gave him all the access, and I'm just going to be like, it's Ben's problem now. But no, both of us will still be on there. I do have some access to it, but yeah, so we're on Twitter. And what's our Twitter name there, Ben? You came up with it.
ABA Bushcraft, is it not?
ABA_Bushcraft, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, ABA_Bushcraft. I have it actually jotted down beneath my monitor. So if you look for us on the Twitterverse, twitter.com/ABA_Bushcraft, you're going to get our page. And we actually have some stuff up there.
Yeah.
We love it if you'd follow us. I don't know if that gives us any incentives or not, but we did. I think it was on that one where it said we were third for bushcrafting podcasts, which we know is a small niche. But anyway, we're going to take it and we're going to run with it. We're third. They did have some Twitter stuff there, and there's some feedback that people like to see us on Twitter. So we went to Twitter. The people have spoken, and we have responded. Now, that might be terrible for everybody involved, but...
Well, yeah, the other two had like 6,000 Twitter followers, and we have none because we had no Twitter presence. So now we have 2 followers as of right now, and hopefully that'll grow in time. And as it grows and as I learn, I'm sure we'll post more and more content on there. We've gotten some new products in the last little while. I know we'll start posting things on about that, stuff we're hoping to do, just a way to keep up to date with what we're doing. There'll also be hints about what we're going to be talking about in the future, hopefully. So that stuff will roll out, and it's an organic process. We're going to grow in a logical manner as the demands are there. So, but
the other
yes.
one that was just mentioned was Instagram. I am no good with Instagram. I've looked at it. I'm all thumbs when it comes to it, but we'll figure it out, and that'll be our next branch out, I assume. But yeah, just one at a time, guys, one at a time. But no, we'll look at it expanding for sure. And Adrian asked what's going to be on the Twitter account, and I think you summed it up great there. So I hope that answered your question there, Adrian. But yeah, so the Twitter. I think Twitter gives us the availability to be able to put up real quick jot notes, or not jot notes, but real quick tweets. You know, that's exactly what they are. You can do it from your phone, you can do it from anywhere, and it's just a real quick snapshot into what we're doing, I guess is what it's called, the best way to describe it.
Yeah, it's a bit of more real time, I guess. The chats that we do here are planned subjects generally, or set conversations. They're only going to happen on Wednesdays, except for special occasions. But Twitter could be any time, and as the opportunities arise, or as we see things that we think are interesting, or if there's, I would like to start asking questions on there. Hopefully, we can get a bit of conversation going on there, and develop our community. Yeah, and
Yeah.
grow as the overall community.
So, Adrian, it's funny you said that. You said I should add the Twitter to the scrolling footer thingy mabobber there. And like I said, funny enough, you should mention that. I'm actually going to completely revamp that to include a bunch of information. It's no longer going to scroll, it's just going to be some links going down the side. It's going to have the website, it's going to have Spotify, it's going to have the iTunes link, our Twitter link, our YouTube link. It's going to have all our different mediums listed there. So everybody gets to take a look at them. The scrolling thing actually, when we go to start cross streaming with YouTube, apparently they just like that anyway, and they'd rather it be a static image. So I guess we're killing two birds with one stone.
Constantly growing, I hope.
Yes, and yeah, Adrian, I am using OBS to stream over. We're going to be using a third-party software to cross-stream. And Chris, I feel you, buddy. I've been on Twitter. I have a Twitter account for another thing I run. I am not a Twitter guy. I am not. But it's one of those things where, like I said, the people have asked. We are trying to reply in kind. I know not everybody's going to be on Twitter, and I do not blame you for not potentially liking Twitter. I understand. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to sour the apples, but I get where you're coming from, man. I really do.
I mean, yeah, we really do, because both of us are more outdoorsy, woodsy type people than primarily social media. But we did meet through social media. I have met a lot of good friends in this year alone. I think I've made more good friends this year than I have in years, and most of it is through social media and the bushcrafting community, and that's been wonderful. So it does, there is a bright side to it, but given our choices, we would be out there doing stuff.
I'd much rather see people in face to face and in person. I mean, that's how you get the best conversations, right?
Oh
But
yeah,
the reality is, it's the social media that makes the world such a small place. So we just have to learn to kind of roll with the flow.
yeah. I mean, you may have somebody on your street. There's a guy that lives fairly close to me that's into a lot of the same stuff, and I occasionally have a chat with him. But sometimes a lot of us, we don't have a lot of people really close that can do that are into this type of stuff, and this medium allows us to converse and learn and grow. And I got quite a few friends that if they see a good sale on Amazon or at Atmosphere or something, saying like, this is something you might really want, Ben, they'll send it, give me a heads up, stuff like that. It's awesome. Or something's right for the picking. I got a couple for fungus. I'm something I'd love to learn a bit more about. Like I said to you this weekend, all fungus is edible, some of it only once.
Yes, and I loved that quote because we were. I think you uploaded some pictures of some mushrooms that we had there, and I know nothing about mushrooms, and I straight up told you that. I'm like, I don't deal with the fungus, man, because I know some of them are good and some of them are poison. So, but yeah, it'd be something I'd love to get into as well. And Adrian made a point here that he wants to get into making some content, but he has some unique issues. And the only thing I can say, Adrian, is just get at her, man. You don't have to go deep in the woods. You don't even have to go far off the road. But if it's like, I think you can attest, Ben, just being in the woods is nice. Doesn't matter how far you go. And if you want to make some videos of that, just get at her, dude. I know
Yeah.
that's easier said than done, but just that's the truth.
My first attempt was on Google Plus. It was a review of the mech tent. If somebody looked real hard, it may still exist somewhere. I think I did manage to get a download of it somewhere. I was comparing that to a different tarp I had, and then I went years without doing anything else with it. It was an attempt. I was really big in the hammock forums. group at the time, and it was kind of related to that stuff. Um, but I've since branched to a lot more areas. And oh, we did do some modifications to your hammock.
Yes, and there will be a video coming. So I'm not going to tip the hand on that, but we did do some modifications and a setup, and there will be a video on YouTube, hopefully in the near future. Once we get some of the videos sorted out and I convert the stuff from my other channels, we're hopefully going to have a release schedule of getting some out there a little bit. But I just want to give a shout out to a first time viewer there. I know he has commented and listened to us before, but Josh Hodgkins. I hope that's right, buddy. Josh Hodgkins has finally been able to catch his first live show. So welcome to the show, man. We're just kind of wrapping it up here, but I'm glad you were able to catch us, and I hope we see you in future shows for sure. The real quick recap, so you don't got to go all through it, is we're on Twitter, we're pushing for YouTube, and we had a great weekend with some deep fried turkey. I think that summed it up pretty great.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think I started out in the bushcrafting videos. It was gear review. I was buying budget items from off-branded names and trying to look for that deal. Like, not that I love cheap equipment, but I always like trying to find the stuff that potentially works as good as the other stuff, but you don't pay as much for. And that's where I started. So, Adrian, man, really just, if you really want to do it, just try. Literally, just jump in the car and just walk into the woods down the road a little bit and start shooting from there.
Yeah.
UK fan base. Are you from UK, Josh? We actually have guys tuning in from over there? Because that would be sweet. But
It's only fit. I follow a bunch of people from the UK to do bushcrafting, so they should be following some of us.
oh, I agree. Some of the best bushcrafting videos I've seen have come from over the pond.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's some big names over there, and I don't want to throw them out in case I get any copyright or something like that and they come after us. But y'all know who you are. If you're listening to me, you know who you are. But yeah, and that's the beauty of bushcrafting. Doesn't matter where you are. It's all the same. We're all a big family, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'd love to get around the world and try and do some of this bushcrafting in all these places. And maybe someday I'll get the opportunity to do it in at least some of those places. But it's really surprising where some people have managed to do some really awesome bushcraft videos, down to the urban stealth camping, to guys going like multi-day, like beyond any type of cell phone reception or anything trips, and every one of them is awesome. If you're getting out there and you're enjoying it and you're getting to just the overall solitude, the nature, it's a wonderful time. It's a great feeling, and it's worth it every time. So.
No, for sure. And Chris agrees with us. Chris, I don't know if you know Josh, but Chris has been with us from the beginning. He was literally here for our first show. I don't think he's missed a show since we've done them. So we constantly mention Chris in our episodes here, and he says that a lot of his YouTubers he follows are from the UK, and I think I'm much the same. If I went and checked, I bet you more than half of them are from over there, and the other half are the local guys that we all kind of chum around with here. So there's some great local guys too. Like, don't get me wrong, we got Rob Young, we got Jeremy, we got Wayne Colcraven, I guess is a little west of us, but he's still here in Canada. The list goes on. There's lots. Those are just the first ones that popped up.
My buddy Gary, I think it's Nova Scotia Yak Fisher. He's on there. He's starting to put out a lot more content now.
I'd have to pull up my YouTube list. Like I can think of some of them. There's a Fisher. I don't know. There's so many. I know them by first name more than their YouTube handles, which is terrible. But one of these times, I think we will plug everybody that we know. We'll just put it up somewhere on one of our videos.
But if you start watching one of us, you're going to find the rest of us. It just happens. And I think a lot of us here in Nova Scotia, we're on the Nova Scotia Bushcrafting Facebook page. But we're finding even that there's a few others. There's an Atlantic Canada one now, I believe.
Yeah, there's Atlantic Canada Bushcraft, which there's a lot of crossover. Once you start into one, you're going to find that they all start meshing together, and it's just different geological locations, basically, at this point. You know what I mean? NSB, or Nova Scotia Bushcraft, was started by Lawrence Camo a few years ago now, and there's some other guys there that help him administrate that. But that's where a lot of us met each other. Places like that, the Atlantic Canada Bushcrafters, I think, is fairly recent. There was a Nova Scotia Preppers site, which was more bushcraft oriented than SHTF. I think I got that acronym right. Anyway, but yeah, once you catch on to one of us, you're probably gonna just start daisy chaining across because we all mention each other. We all at least know each other to some degree.
And it's a pretty friendly group. There's been, it's the drama and the politics seems to be almost minimal if it exists at all, which is great. Um,
So just because he put it in the comment, and like I said, Chris has been here since the start, I'm going to plug him for him. 13 underscore Prevail Bushcraft, the Newfoundland Explorer. And he was plugging the Newfies. So I'm all for that too, man. I love Newfoundland. So
is that what's his name? He's got a book out now, doesn't he?
more than I can tell you.
I'm trying to remember his name.
Hey, so Chris found us on Nova Scotia Bushcraft. Awesome. And yeah, Josh, thank you very much. I'm glad that you appreciate the work, and I'm glad that you caught up on everything. Stick around. We don't plan on going anywhere anytime soon. I didn't mean to cut you off there, Ben. I just try to hit the comments as they come because there's a whole bunch of them shooting up there at once, and I didn't want to lose them. But yeah, I don't know if he has a book.
Barber, isn't it? Barber, something Barber. Newfoundland Explorer. I think it's something Barber.
Very well could be.
Anyways, yeah, I followed.
Sorry?
You lost everything. No sound came out of you.
My mic still says it's sending. Can you hear me?
It's getting cut out for a second.
Oh, well. It's the gremlins. You'll learn too, Josh, that IT-related issues haunt us continuously. Or I should say haunt me. You have you have me running your IT, and you can look at me and realize that is not a good idea. But we function.
Anyways, that's a good wrap for tonight. Lots to come.
Justin Barber. There you go.
That Justin Barber. That's what I thought, but I didn't want to say it. Yeah. So no, he's awesome. I think he's actually a teacher. Like high school or something. But he's got some awesome videos. He goes out with his dog. I think his girlfriend or wife. I'm not sure. Maybe both. But he gets out there. He's been going right across the province doing stuff, and he does some awesome videos. So anyone who has a chance to check that out.
That's like the third podcast in a row that my fax machine has gone off, and not one fax has come through. So I think it's haunted. Like this is what I mean, Josh. This is the kind of IT stuff that we get into, bud. Like it just happens. So we roll with it.
Roll with it. But yeah, I can't wait for the next one. We'll see y'all then. But yeah, we'll probably call it for tonight. And let's see how things go in the future. Keep an eye out for our we'll continue on Facebook. We're going to put some stuff on Twitter. We're going to really push to YouTube. So you got lots of avenues to see and hear from us. Contact us, send us messages. As soon as we get to them, we will respond or acknowledge them at least. And if there's any good ideas, we will do our best to actually try them out. We have some big plans for this winter, and hopefully we get to do some of them.
Yeah, 100%. So just to recap, if you want to follow us, you're already here on Facebook with us. You can look us up on YouTube. Just search Atlantic Bushcraft Adventures. You'll come to us. If we hit that 100 subscriber, I can give you a smaller URL. Keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, you can hit us on Twitter. You can hit us on our website, atlanticbushcraft.ca. If you want to shoot an email to us, it's podcast@atlanticbushcraft.ca. And yeah, so far that's all the ways you can get a hold of us. We're on every major audio streamer that I can think of right now. So
yeah, and some. It's some that we have.
And then some. Yeah. So, but yeah, awesome. Once again, thank you to everybody that supports us. Much appreciated, much love. Thanks, Josh, for joining us your first time. Hopefully we'll see you again next week. Same time, every week. We're pretty faithful. We've never missed a show. Sometimes we start a little later, but Just wrapping up. All right, guys. Everybody have a good night.
Night, so see ya.